Hey everybody, it's Dan, your friendly fishmonger at dansfish.com, where we're on a mission to humanely source, maintain, and transport fish to our customers. Thanks for coming by. I've got a tour today. I'm going to show you just a few things that caught my eye as I was walking around the warehouse, kind of a what you see is what you get type thing. And before I do that, I've got to change into my black shirt so I don't reflect all over the aquariums. I'm wearing my bright yellow limited edition Dan's Fish Guppy shirt. There's lots of other colors too, but I like the bright yellow. If you want to buy a shirt, hey, we've got them at the store, the Dan's Fish YouTube store, so check it out. Enough shilling, let's get to the tour. All right, here's the first fish we wanted to show you, and here's Johnny to feed them. These are super red cribinsis. They are Pelvicochromous Pulcher, just your normal, everyday crib that's in your local pet stores, except for this strain has been bred for a long time, many generations, to bring out red. So if you're familiar with the normal Pulcher, you'll see, if you look at these, that they have a lot more red on them. So really pretty fish, hardy. We love them. These are fish that we stop and take a look at and watch whenever we're walking around the fish room, or the warehouse, just because they're amazing. But super red Pulcher, again, if you can keep a normal cribinsis from your pet store, which almost anyone can, one of the hardiest, most prolific, most colorful, peaceful, and easy to breed cichlids out there, then you can keep these as well. But these are super red. Okay, on to the next one. These are Melanitania species Lengaroo, a handsome fish, just a very different rainbow fish. Kind of the, I don't know, tuxedo type marking down the middle of the body. It's just something you don't see every day. They're in here with a few severums, supposedly red shoulder severums, but we're waiting for the red shoulders to develop so we know for sure before we sell them, and that can take a while. Severums get pretty big, so it can take a while for them to grow in and color up. But these Lengaroo are looking good. I think they're so unique among the rainbow fish. Handsome, with some color too. I mean, they're not just handsome. Handsome's almost an insult in the fish world. They're handsome, but also beautiful. Got some color coming in on that guy. Anyway, Melanitania species Lengaroo. Or is it Languru? Guru's fun to say. Languru. I don't know. Let's go to the next one. Alright, here is a Distichotis. These are Tugelsi, I think is how you say the species. They're from Lafini River. They're a species that doesn't get too big, and they really enjoy their veggies. So they're down here picking on some zucchini. Interesting fish out of the Congo, so West Africa. Not one you see very often at all. Kind of like Africa's answer to Leperinus, I would say. Get nice green flecks in the sides, and just an interesting fish that's different than what you would normally see. Distichotis tugelsi, yeah, there it is, tugelsi, from Lafini River in the Congo. Next to them, we have a group of Empire Gudgeons. They're small, but they're already starting to color in really nicely. There's an obvious male there. A few more in the tank. One of the prettiest freshwater fish ever. Just a stunning gudgeon. And the tank we're moving to is just this little tank. It's got some cherry shrimp in the bottom, some dwarf hatchets up top, and a boos. This is a Bucephalandra. Is it Thei? Something like that. It's in this tank. A simple tank, really, really simple, but fun to watch because of all the shrimp and then the hatchets up top. And that pretty boos. Okay, next one over. Then over here we have another simple tank, but that's really pretty. We have some Bleeding Heart Tetras, looking like Bleeding Heart Tetras should. Really, really pretty. Some Altacino Geophagus cichlids. This is the Gold Dust Altacino. And then a few rainbow fish. These are Melanitania frederici from Kiyin. These, it's not morning, it's mid-afternoon, so they're not colored up at the moment. They are one of those rainbow fish that kind of only color up in the morning, like limited time only. But they're big and healthy and doing fantastic. I think they might all be males. I'm not sure if any of these are females in the rainbows. But if you want big pretty males, I think they're males. I'll let you be the judge. You're seeing them. Anyway, I just I think this tank looks great. I like the bleeding hearts a lot. I just think they're a neat fish. Japan Blue Gold Double Sword Guppies. Super happy fish. Always fun to watch. You know, not your average guppy. They definitely have a different shape and different color scheme than your average guppy. You know, sky blue on gold. They're in here with some cryptocorn, is it Wallacei? I'm not quite sure how to say it because I'm new to plants, but there they are. There's the crypts. Just, I mean, tank full of happy guppies. Okay, these are very, very, very special fish. These are the dwarf red-tailed eels. And look at them. They're all out and about. They're not hiding. We haven't fed them yet today, and you can see what good body size they have for their, girth, you know, they have for their length. They're only 2 to 3 inches right now. They're not shy at all. Like, I can come out here and just run my hand along the tank, do whatever, clean the tank, feed them, and they're out and about because these were bred and raised in aquariums, so they're used to people. So unlike most eels, this batch, for some reason, is very personable. And look at the color at that small size on the tails. They're already getting the nice red. Supposedly, these are a dwarf species. From what I've been able to find, they're probably not going to get above 7 inches. They should stay small, but we don't know exactly what the species is, so we're kind of guessing on that. But that's what we've been told, is that they will stay small. So hopefully that's true, because one of the limiting factors on keeping a lot of the really neat eels in the hobby is they get too big. But these should not. We have 2 tanks of them, this tank here, and then next door, same thing, another batch, out and about, aren't shy, like aren't running away from my hand, which my fingertips are touching the glass, just out begging for food, saying, feed me. So the dwarf red-tailed eels, unique little eel. We bring them in whenever we can. We have a good breeder of these, good supply, but they're not available all that often, so I'm just glad they're available now. Ah, so fun to watch. But I gotta keep moving or this will be a 10-hour video. So on to the next tank. Another very, very special fish. These are the longfin swordtails. I think we're calling them Vienna cauliflowers. They're red-eyed red cauliflower swordtails, basically, with the high fin. These, I've been looking for a good supplier of these for years. I had a supplier in the past, but the fish always had problems. And eventually we found out we had a lab test done, and eventually found out that supplier had a virus. So those fish had viruses that were untreatable, so we could not bring them in from that supplier anymore. So after looking for a few years, we found another supplier, and I'm happy to say these have been hardy and doing well from the get-go. So I think these are going to do great for you. There are only females. They're probably pregnant. I don't know that for sure, but they're old enough that I'd be very surprised if they were not pregnant. But even the females are stunning. That nice tall fin. They look pretty much like the males. Some of the males have good swords on them. A lot of the males of this strain, though, don't have really well-developed sword tails. It's more about the dorsal fin. Anyway, there they are, the cauliflower Vienna red swordtail. I can't remember exactly what they're listed as, but something like that. And they're not cheap by any means. This is a very pricey fish, very hard to find, but I think we have a good batch. I think I found a good supplier, so hopefully they do well for everyone, and if they do, then we'll bring more in. Although, not a lot. There's never a lot available, but they are something we really like. For those that have been following us for a while, you will know these fish. These are some Congo spotted puffers. These are the ones that came in super, super skinny, very emaciated. We did not know for sure if they were going to make it, so we've kind of been showing you their progress over the months as we've nursed them back to health. I am thrilled to say that apart from, I can't even hardly tell the one, this guy right here maybe isn't quite as fat as the others yet, but He's doing well enough that I actually have to look twice before I can find him. Most of them, I love it when they flare their tails like that. Oh, turn for the camera so everyone can see it, buddy. Oh, he had his tail all flared out, and it was beautiful. Anyway, I just wanted to update you on this batch because I know there's a lot of people that have been following this group of fish and are probably wondering how are they doing. Yeah, this is the one that's a little skinnier than the others. Still good looking though. I mean, I seriously thought that fish was not going to make it. But a few months of tender loving care, tons of food, some medications, and these are ready to go. We'll hold that one back a little longer just because he was in much poorer shape than the others, so it's going to take him a little longer to get the body weight we want, but I can't tell these apart now except for that one. I can't tell these apart from the other group that came in fat and sassy, so really happy with how these ended up doing. So that's the update for everyone that's been following, wondering how they're doing, wondering if they made it, wondering what's going on. Yeah, they look great. Well, I wasn't planning on showing these, so I didn't really scrub the glass down. You can see the algae on the glass. But as I'm walking by, I'm seeing how good they look. These are some rummy-nosed tetras. The amount of red on them is just impressive. They have bright red noses. So I thought I'd take a moment to show them to you just because as I was walking by, they caught my eye. And that's one of the best things about working here. That happens like every day. I'll just be walking by a tank and I'll stop and I'll be like, holy cow, those look good today. It's a tough gig, man, working in a fish store. Horrible. I wouldn't recommend it. No, I'm kidding. We get moments like that every day and it's great. Just common rummy-nosed tetras, but all fired up and looking good. Tequila sunrise guppies have always been one of my favorites just because of how happy they look. They're super bright colored. They're always cheery. Something about that bright yellow, it's just sunshine in a tank. So I appreciate this fish a lot just because of that. The plant here is a swordtail. It's the Osiris rubra. I don't know enough about plants to know what that means, but here they are. To me, they appear to be doing well. But again, I don't know much about plants. I'm more of a fish guy. Fish like them, though. The nice thing about guppies and platies and stuff is they keep the algae off the leaves. They pick the algae off really well, so they've kept those plants in good shape. I know not everyone's going to appreciate this fish, but this is one of my favorites. I'm weird like that. I like a moonlight gourami. There's something about the subtlety of them and just the moonlight, I guess. Maybe I'm romantic. I was born in the wrong age. I should have been a Renaissance poet. But anyway, yeah, moonlight incarnate in a fish. I just like them. Oh, I've got a really cool tank to show you next. Check this out. I love this tank. Look at how good those bitterlings look. They're nice and colored up. Especially that dominant male. It's starting to get dark with dark orange on them. Really good looking. I also love those 4-spot splash tetras. They're a Copella species, I think. I'd have to look again. I can't remember the scientific name. A few hill trout in there with them. These are basically all kind of robust, strong swimming fish that get along well together. If you want a tank that's really active, like this group of fish does fantastic together. Anyway, I love it. Especially those bitterlings, just how they're starting to color up. They're starting to get that nice fiery orange in the fins, which is just so neat. If you don't know about bitterlings, they're kind of cool. They spawn in clams. So the female has a very long ovipositor, and she will stick that in a clam and lay her eggs inside of a clam, and then the male will spray his milt over the clam, and the clam will suck it in as it's breathing and filter feeding. That will fertilize the eggs inside the clam, and then the eggs are all protected in a nice hard shell, and they develop in the clam, and when they hatch they wiggle out. And they don't hurt the clam at all, but they just use it as a refuge, a place to put their eggs for safety. Anyway, I love bitterlings. I love all the fish in this tank. Nice, robust, active fish. All of them. Here's another African tetra. These took a long time to get fat and healthy, but they are now. These came out of the Congo. They are a close relative to the blood cap tetras, but these are Cautomaculatus. They're named that because of that dark spot at the tail. at the end of the tail there, that kind of eye spot to fool predators. A lot of small fish have those, and that's because then when the predator goes to eat them, they might mistake that for an eye, and then the fish swims in the other direction and they get away. So it's kind of a defense mechanism that lots and lots of small schooling fish have developed. But anyway, there you go, Cauda maculatus, a neat West African tetra from the Congo, and yeah, obviously I wasn't gonna take a video of this tank, so I didn't really scrub the glass that well, but I think you can still see the fish. All right, here's a simple fish. This is a golden platy, but they look fantastic, and I like the plants they're with. These are the yellow sun sword plant, so I wanted to kind of show them to you. I don't know if the yellow's coming in, but they're definitely a lemon yellow color. Well, I should say lemon green, actually. Like, there's yellow in there, there's green in there, and everything in between. So they're a neat, unique sword. I've never seen a sword with that color before. And the golden platies, I think, complement them nicely. So I just thought they were looking good. So there's a little glimpse of them. The predatory gouramis are out, so I want to take a video of that. These are, we're calling them, I think, the crocodile head gourami, crocodile pike, something like that. But they're a gourami, just like a chocolate gourami that is developed into a predator. Ours are doing great. They eat the occasional fish. If we have a coal or shrimp that isn't colored right and we want to feed it to something, we'll put it in here. But their main diet is frozen bloodworms. They've been trained to eat frozen bloodworms. So they can be fed frozen foods as well, frozen mysis, shrimp, that kind of thing. Well, I was not planning on showing these guys either, so I didn't scrub the glass, but look how good they look. I just had to pause to take a little video. These are blue coral calico platies, and they just look fantastic. They're on some Anubias barderi, how do you say that, glabra? It's an Anubias. I'm not afraid of Anubias. That's one plant I know I won't kill, so I brought some of those in. And I know it's just a platy, but look at that platy. Now, speaking of a fish that's related to a platy but is super rare and awesome, let's go to the next tank. Okay, here it is. This is Xiphophorus milleri, a swordtail platy relative. Xiphophorus is the genus that platies and swordtails are in. So this is basically a swordtail without the sword. These were all bred and raised up here. These are all babies that were born here that we raised up. They're doing fantastic. They're getting to about 3/4 of an inch. And we have our first impregnated females. I see the first gravid spots. So getting just big enough to start spawning. So we're going to hold some back as breeders, I think, just because they're super easy to breed and very rare. And we'll let the rest go. They're on top of some cryptocorin lucens. Hey, one I can say. I said a plant name. Congratulations to me. And it's just, there's so many libraries out there that are endangered and need our help. And they're so easy to breed and keep. And this one is also pretty. It's like a yellow gold base color with some black spots on it. So I think this one will end up being popular. And we'll probably be able to preserve it because I think enough people will keep it and breed it that it'll be fine even if it, gets real endangered in the wild. Anyway, the Catamaco libearer or Xiphophorus milleri, those are like scientific names, just a neat little batch of fish. So there you have it, some of the fish that popped out and grabbed my eye as I was walking around the fish warehouse today. We have a lot of other fish available though, so if you're in the market for some aquarium fish, check us out at dansfish.com. And if you want to learn more about fish, we have a live stream every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Dance Fish YouTube channel where you can ask questions, we can discuss back and forth about aquarium fish and aquarium fish keeping and help you out if you've got a problem. Anyway, until next time, I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.